What's up, party people? We live with my boy for 20 years. I almost kicked my ass for stealing his roommate's cookies. I'm just going to call his first name Kerry, and if he wants to say anything more to just divulge his identity and his whereabouts and his business, he can do that. You're live on air.
No, Clarence. Look, I'm just a regular Joe, and what we were talking about is martial etiquette, and I had to learn it, and just want to put the word out to those that are looking to study martial arts. There's something called martial etiquette. If you actually go, and this is my mistake. I should have explained this to my boy. I've known him 20 years. And he asked me, hey, look, you don't know any teachers? And I gave him the number of the one I trained under. And so it was my fault for not explaining martial etiquette to him. So martial etiquette includes respect to the master of the school, especially if they were trained or they came up under serious martial etiquette. So what martial etiquette means is you show respect to the teacher. And to break it down even further than that, what you have to understand is that, yeah, you may pay money or you may do whatever, but what you're gaining from that person's knowledge is invaluable. There's not really a price you can put on that, because basically what you're doing is you're benefiting from the experiences, the practice, the years of training of which you are learning. And someone had to pay for that. Someone had to invest the time. Someone had to invest the pain and whatever else they went through. So in martial etiquette, what you do is you show respect for access to that knowledge. And so I didn't say it was easy, and I didn't say it was free. But again, you cannot put any amount of money on benefiting from someone else's knowledge, someone else's pain, someone else's years of study. And so the way you do that is if their title is master, if they earn the title of master, then you refer to them as master. If you, and it's not, we here in America, we have a stigma about that because of the history of slavery and so on and so forth. But you have to understand it's a different mindset. It's not that you're a slave. It's not that you're beneath them. It's that you're a student and you're there to learn. I mean, one day, if you study long enough, maybe you'll become a master and you'll expect the same respect from your students if you have any. But that is something that needs to be understood, especially for Americans, because we as Black Americans have a stigma about that. But you also have to understand that just as you have the understanding of our history, you also have to understand there's a difference between history and culture. And so it took me a while to understand that. And so if you don't explain it to someone, then they may be lost. They may be confused of why, if you approach a teacher with that background, that it may be, well, why is he acting like that? Well, that's why. And so I just wanted to share that. So if you actually go and study under a traditional martial arts master or instructor, it is expected to show that kind of respect to what you're gaining. And so it's no different than when we were taught as children, or some of us, that when you walk by your elder, you speak to them. You refer to them as yes, sir, yes, ma'am. That doesn't mean you're less. It means you're showing respect. There's a difference between respect and pride or ego.
And manners. Let me cut in. Manners are self-protection. Your parents teach you to be polite, because if you're polite, you're safe. If you're rude and ugly and obnoxious, somebody might just drown you in the river.
Well, that's actually true with some people. That's actually true. So I wanted to kind of impart, this is one of the lessons that I've learned studying martial arts and also experiencing different cultures, something that I had to wrap my head around. If you don't have the experience or haven't yet traveled abroad or dealt with different cultures, especially if you're trying to learn something from them, or you have to understand that there is a there's a system of honor that they follow, and it's very, very old system. Sometimes thousands of years old. So that hasn't changed. And if it has, it hasn't
Hey,
changed
Carrie,
much.
I don't
Yes,
think
sir.
it's safe for me to be in the same place with Master Dan Jolly yet. I'm not going to be able to go physically to his dojo, or what do you call it?
It's actually a Korean combat martial art. So it's actually referred to as a dojo is Japanese. It's actually a dojang.
How do you spell that?
DOJONG.
Hold on. DO
JONG.
Dojang.
Right.
Wow.
It's not a dojo. That's Japanese. Dojang is Korean.
Dojang. Okay.
Just like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, what I was going to say is that the other distinction is kind of relevant to that. Most people see the uniform, the practice uniform or traditional uniform, they think it's a gi. That's Japanese. In the Korean, it's a dobuk.
Spell that?
I don't know the actual correct spelling for that. I have to look that up, but it's referred to as dobuk.
Okay, when I post the video on my YouTube channel, can you make a comment and put that in the link?
I sure will.
And do you have Cash App?
I do.
Put your Cash App tag. I'm going to give you $5 to $20 for doing it.
Okay, it's not necessary, but I'll give it to you anyway.
And when I give it to you, you need to reply back. I just got paid $20 from Liberation.org.
Oh, I understand what you're doing. Okay, I'll do that. And if it's okay, I'll send that to you in a message or something like that, because I'd have to look it up. And I'm talking on the same phone right now.
Well, no. You have to, when we hang out.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm gonna go for. We can go for like 10 minutes. We got another 3 minutes. What else do you want to say?
No, I just want to say, well, first of all, it's an honor to talk to you after so long. I hope you're doing well. And again, whenever you decide you want to do something, I'll work with you.
Okay, let's stop right there. This is what I need. I need you to be the go-between between me and Dan Jolly. I need you to teach me on video every day for at least 10 minutes.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Let me review my schedule. And as you know me, I own a couple of companies.
Yeah.
And I also train all the time.
Yeah.
And I also have 2 kids in college.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna get paid. Name your price.
All right. Well, we'll discuss that. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But I'd be happy to show you what I know. And again, I'm still a student. I'm always, the way this works is like you're always a student. But I'd be happy to share with you what I've learned. And so,
make sure you have permission from Master.
Absolutely. I wouldn't do it unless I did.
Okay.
And so, yeah. First of all, I'm honored that you would even ask me. Like I said, I'm still a student. I'm still learning. I'm always learning.
Uh-huh.
And one of the things about the way Master Jolly teaches is, you can think you have something down,
mm-hmm.
and that guy is so good that when you go in there, it's like, wow, I didn't know that part. An example would be,
don't give nothing free. Don't give nothing free.
All right, understood.
All right.
So anyway, like I said, I know we're a little short on time, but Clarence, it's an honor for you to ask me that.
Okay, go ahead. Give one for free. One for free.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, last night, we were doing what's called techniques, and I practiced it. Well, when we get in there, he'll, when we're in the school, he'll say, well, let me see X, Y, or Z. And so you actually do the technique with another student. Well, I thought I had that down. When I did, he said, no, that's not correct. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, what did I not do? So he came up and showed me just little nuances that make all the difference in the world. And that's part of the whole process, So, all right, now I've got the basics. Now what he actually did, if you actually think about it, say, okay, you got the basics. Let me show you some, the nuances, which actually makes the technique more effective. And now I can go and add the basic that I learned.
Does he speak Korean?
Yes, he actually speaks 10 languages.
Oh my God, he's a genius, isn't he?
Well, that guy is super smart and he is super good. Make no mistake about it. And I'll give you one example. When I first walked in there, and I know we're short on time, so I'll make this quick.
You got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes. Take your time.
Okay. So when I first walked in there, one of the things he likes to do is, and you got to understand, I mean, the guy's been through war after war. He was actually special forces in the Air Force, pararescue, and he's highly trained. So we go in there, and I box a little bit, the little MMA and all that kind of stuff. So I'm walking in there with the big head. So he said, "Why don't you come on and let me show you a few things?" Now he's over 60, in excellent shape. And I'm like, okay. So he says, "All right, put up your guard." So I go in a traditional boxing stance. The guy hits me 6 times. I didn't even see it. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, hell no.
No, wait a second. Wait a second. Let me explain something. Carrie almost kicked my ass in college for stealing his roommate's cookies. Carrie and his roommate never locked their doors. And I just walked in because, Carrie's a badass, but I didn't know. I didn't know who I was fucking with.
well, let me tell you, Clarence. There's some times in your life when you figure out you're not as bad as you think you are. Okay?
Yep.
Yep, you're not as bad as you think you are. So I'm walking in there, I can throw a little bit, I ain't Mike Tyson or nobody, but I can hold my own. I went in there, realized I ain't no shit. Okay? So this is somebody I can learn from. The man hit me 6 times.
Where did he hit you?
He hit me 3 or 4 times in my head, my neck, in my chest, okay, and he simulated breaking my arm.
How do you simulate breaking your arm?
Oh, it's actually he'll grab your arm in a way that it doesn't move. Hit your elbow, or it's kind of hard to explain if you don't see it.
Does it hurt?
Oh, yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, you get the full experience with Master Jolly. But on the flip side of that, what you do is you understand exactly how that technique works. And you also understand that if you have to use that technique, what exactly you're doing. And so this is the first combat teacher that I've had that actually will sit down and explain the body mechanics and the science and how the pressure points, nerves, and the body moves, which is invaluable. Because you can go out there and you can say, well, I can punch this guy, I can do this, I can do that. But until you really understand how all that works, you can't be as effective. So now that you do understand, you become very respectful of what you learn. And you also realize that it's not to go out there and be a badass. It's out there to be, it enables you to defend yourself effectively. If you have to do it, you can. If you know how to take it as far as it needs to go, but you also, most importantly, know how it, you learn how it feels. And so that is something I've never experienced. And that's why I like.
How long have you been taking martial arts and studying boxing and shit?
Oh, I've been studying boxing since I was in the Marine Corps. And then I went out and
what year was that?
Oh, this was back in 95, 96-ish.
So you didn't know that shit when you was beating my ass?
I didn't know none of that. I was just a brawler, man. Now, you got to remember something, Clarence. I was in the military. I was an NCO in the Navy before I actually went to college. So all we used to do was fight. And all we knew how to do was brawl.
What you mean? Y'all was fist fighting, bare knuckle and shit?
I mean, we was fist fight. We was wrestling. I mean, we used to do that for fun, because we'd be stuck in hooch.
Hey, have you ever wrestled a motherfucker that was gay and got a hard on while he was fucking wrestling you?
No, bro. No.
I have.
That actually happened. No, bro. I can't say.
I have. I wanted to kick his ass so bad, but he would have enjoyed it.
No, I can't say that I had that experience. Came out for that one. So, but yeah, man. So that's basically in a nutshell. And Clarence, I will reiterate, man. Look, it's really good to speak with you after all this time, man. I hope you're doing well. And in private, let's discuss.
Let me get off. Let me get off right now. Hold on. Okay, we're off.